Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. And take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints, and for me, that utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in bonds, that therein I may speak boldly as I ought to speak. Peace be to the brethren, and love with faith, from God the Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Grace be with all them that love our Lord Jesus Christ in sincerity. Amen.
Hold on. Okay. I don't know why it wouldn't let me go on. It kept bouncing me off. Okay. So, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing? I hope you guys are excited because we're in for a little brotherly love today. Oh my goodness gracious. It's going to be good. You will definitely listen. If you are if you like music, if you like stories, then this is definitely going to be the broadcast for you, because we are going to tell some stories. My brother Rick is here and my brother David. They're all slowly coming down. Rick, where's the flute? I heard the flute.
Yeah,
well, come play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, come.
Wake everybody up.
Yeah, come on. Here's your wake up call. You're going to sit right there. Good morning. Welcome to Ground Tats. Good morning, Vicki Lynn. Good morning, Stacks. I got my coffee. Ricky's grabbing some coffee. Are you getting more coffee?
I'm going to get my banjo.
He's getting his banjo. Oh, it's going to be a banjo morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see who is in the chat. Good morning, AF Soldier. Whoop, where'd you go? AF Soldier reporting for duty. Good morning. Good morning to Stephanie. Good morning, Riley Queen. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Shelly. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Triple G is in the house. Good morning, Grandma Linda. Good morning to Dee. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Irene. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Please make sure that you like and share the broadcast. Good morning, Angela. Good morning from Mexico. Good morning from Mexico. Sarita. Good morning to Sarita. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, we got we put some filters on. So don't be upset if you feel like I just put something and it's not coming in, but we did that to protect the broadcast. So good morning to Tara. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We are. Yeah, I love his music too. Hey, this is like a normal thing for us. Like seriously, like this is this is gonna be so good. Good morning, Faith Gal. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Uncle Larry's in the house. Good morning, Uncle Larry. Good morning, good morning. Okay, let's see. Roscoe Cat. Good morning. I saved his. Oh, did you really? Oh, that's so cool. I can't wait to tell him that. Okay, so this is the thing. Chat restrictions have been put in place. You have to wait 30 seconds between posts. So it's okay. You'll get your stuff. You just have to don't get yourself all up, and you have to also follow for 24 hours before you can chat. So there you go. So we're trying to do what we can do, but yeah, it's hey, on the upside, what we do have is I have over 2,000 followers. So hey, how do you go from 400 to 2,000? You get rated. That's just what you do. That's what you do. So super exciting. And I'm really, I have to tell you, I'm very excited about like what God is doing. I'm going to just kind of give you guys a little bit of background because most of you guys know, I know I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing, but I just want to get this updated because I just couldn't do it. So back last year, our uncle, my father's half brother, Tommy, he passed away. And so we came to his funeral and we met our aunt, who we haven't had a chance to meet before. Her name is Brandy J and Vicki Lynn and Sachs, over on Foxhole and Rumble, all of them. And so what happened is God orchestrated something so beautiful, and he Foxtail over on Rumble. He orchestrated something so beautiful. What he did is he gave us family because we lost family, but we gained family. And so Aunt Bev and Uncle Charles have been so very gracious and kind that they have opened their home to the Palieris, and we are going to be having a Thanksgiving Festivus like the rest of us. And we are going to, Tina and I are going to be cooking and doing some stuff. There comes David.
Wait, I don't look good.
So David is coming, but and there's Aunt Bev. And so what we're doing is we're going to, he's fine if he's there. He's fine. So it's going to be everybody saying good morning to you, Aunt Bev. Okay. All right. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Happy Thanksgiving, Maggie. So it is going to be stories. You might hear some news stories. We're going to have some music. We're going to have some laughter. And so this is going to be a special time, not only for me, but also for you guys, because you get to see a glimpse of my family. And I have to tell you that Aunt Bev and Uncle Charles, they fit in so nicely, or we've just, I think they don't have a choice. we kind of came in and we kind of like squatted and we kind of stayed, but we have so much fun together. And we've been cooking. We made a Polish meal last night. Yeah, they are a hoot. Shelly says hi.
Hi, Shelly.
And Bev says hi, Shelly, in case you didn't hear her. So, so my brothers, who, if you want to know where I kind of get my timing from, just letting you know that we're all a bunch of dukes. Yeah, because they're still not here. Just saying. And I should be the one who takes the longest. But anyway, so So basically, to just to give you a little bit of a backstory, yeah, I'm very excited to be with my family. And Tina's here. My kids, my husband are driving down today, so please keep them in prayer. But one of the things that that we did is when we would get together for any kind of a holiday is that we would tell stories. And so just like I am a storyteller. Oh heck yeah, Tara, we had pierogies and kielbasa. Oh heck yeah. And okay, let me tell you what I did. We took sauerkraut and we like really strained it out, and then what we did is we cut up some fresh cabbage and we cooked it together, so it took out some of that bitterness, and then we chopped up the kielbasa and then we put that inside, and then we made bacon and onions to go on top of the pierogies. I'm just saying. Oh, whose birthday is it? Wait, whose birthday? Who did I miss? Somebody's birthday? Hold on. Whose birthday is it? I don't see a birthday. Okay. Good morning. I'm like, wait, somebody's birthday? Okay. Yeah, it was so good. It was so good. Uncle Charles is like, he's like, you guys, he loves our cooking. So we are planning a meal. We have so much food. It's like, oh, bacon and onions. Oh my gosh. Linda Jones. So good. And so it was really good. So we did that, and so today is going to be lots and lots of cooking. So it's going to be like hair up, don't care, sweats, and we're going to be cooking all day. Tina's been cooking up a storm. I'm going to be cooking. I made a cheesecake last night, which I left in the oven, which should be fine because it's supposed to cool. So I'm going to put it in the refrigerator today, and it's fine. But anyway, so it should be a lot of fun. I don't know where my brothers are. They're supposed to be here, but they're coming. All right, we'll see. I don't know what they're doing. Anyway, today's Candace's birthday. Happy birthday, Candace. Oh my gosh, come on. Okay, all right. Sound the alarm. Jesus is coming. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, there's always a possibility. Come on, fish. Okay, so we got to wish happy birthday to Candace. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, there you go.
Where's Rick?
He's coming. Say hi. See, and he has his hat. Oh, dude, that hurt.
I know.
That hurt.
That's what brothers are
Ow,
for.
ow, ow. You got to be careful of that arm. That's where I fell.
Yeah.
That's all.
You need to get some motivation in that arm.
No, he's like, oh, you got a stiff arm. Here, let me just move it.
No pain, no gain.
No pain, no gain. There you go. Yeah, Polish family. Yep. So happy birthday, Candace. Let's see if Brian is, let's see if we can do a happy birthday for Candace. Okay, let's just do that really, really quick because I had no idea. All right, let me just see. Okay, I really haven't been on socials. Okay, and it is our Candace, right? Yes. Okay, I'm just making sure it is our Candace. Okay, because usually I know that she's been watching the broadcast later. So we will go ahead and wish her a happy birthday. But I just want to make sure it is the right one. Okay, there we go. Let's see. We're going to do Candace, and then hopefully Ricky will be down, right? All right. C-N-D-A-C-E. Okay. Yay. Okay. So here we go. Happy birthday, Candace.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Candace. We are so excited that you are a part of our family, that you are a part of Crown Chats, that you're a part of everything that we've been doing. Your insight and your prayers have just been, they have availed much. That's what I'm going to say. They have availed much. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm hearing for you. It's like God is going. I'm hearing it's time. It's almost like a reveille call. So like when you hear reveille, I guess in the services, it's time to wake up. It's time to get busy. It's time to start doing. And that's what I'm hearing in the spirit is it's time to get busy. It's time to start doing the things that you've been called to do, that this has been where you felt like you have a season of being hidden and slumbering, and it seems like everything was kind of going by. I'm hearing the Lord saying that he is sounding the wake up call, and that there's going to be people and places and spaces that you're going to start to move into, that there is there's going to be some new direction. There's going to be some new connections. I'm hearing that there has become a fortifying in who you are, that you've been fortified, which means that like that's an extra. It's like when something becomes fortified, it becomes stronger. And that's kind of what I'm hearing. And so there has been this time where there has been a lag, but I just hear this sound where it's time for you to start moving again. And it's time for you to start doing the things that you've always been called to do. That it's not going to be a delay, but this is going to be a movement and a go forward where you're not going to be going backwards. And so we just bless you, Candace, and everything that God has called you to do. We bless you in all of your gifting and your talents, with all of the things that have been written in your book. Let the Lord open those books and let them be read, even as you sleep, that you're going to start to get downloads of the things that you're called to do. And we thank you, Papa, for Candace. We thank you, Lord, for bringing her into our lives and for blessing us with everything that she has. We thank you for her passion and her compassion. We thank you for her tenacity, and we thank you, Lord, that she is a prayer warrior. We thank you that, Lord, all of those things that are inside of her are going to start to bubble up, almost like somebody took a bottle of champagne and the cork is about to blow. And we just thank you, Father, for today, that sea lions. That's right, that she's going into the deeper ocean. Come on, she's going to go into the deeper ocean, into the deeper parts, where she's going to start to experience the freedom like never before. And Lord, we thank you for today. We thank you for her birthday. And as we celebrate it, let all of heaven rejoice and say that today Candace was born. And we just thank you in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. 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 Yes. So welcome to the spammers, huh? Hey, Ryan. I love Ryan. He's like, welcome. Hey, you might come in to spam. You might get a little bit of Jesus. Come on. I'm just saying, you might get some Jesus while you're here. I'm just saying, you might just get a lot of Jesus, really. So it's all good. It's all good. So there you go. So cheers. Okay. There you go. So Dave is now a North Carolinian, right?
Yep.
Where did your brother go?
Disappeared.
I know. What the heck?
If the crow don't fly, let me go check.
What does that mean? If the crow, he went to go get his banjo. Oh, he's probably talking to Uncle Charles. Dang, I'm telling you, trying to get Palieris into a place is like herding cats. It is herding cats. Seriously. That's what we need. We need something where it's like, do we have any videos about herding cats? I'm just asking. I'm asking for a friend, Ryan. Do we have any herding cat videos? Because seriously, that's what we need today. It's like, where did he go? I thought he went upstairs, but he went to go get his banjo, and now he's talking. Yeah, it's it's difficult enough to hurt a Lisa. I'm telling you. I am telling you. I'm just saying. You have to see when we go shopping, when me and David and Tina go shopping, it's like pandemonium because everybody just kind of goes, and we so you have to go find everybody. And Beth, like Tina and I, we went into BJ's yesterday, and she's like, all right, I'm gonna go forward because we got stopped, and because we saw these really cute like really comfy coat. And everybody who knows me, I love pajamas, so we got these comfy and cozy pajama pants, and I said, oh, we can all twin. So Aunt Bev and Tina and I we're all gonna twin. So that's gonna be super fun. And like when it's like $10, it's like they're $10 for a pair of like really super cozy pants. Anyway, okay. Well, I'm gonna let me do I'll do my spiritual message now. I was gonna kind of do it towards the end, but I'll do it now. As we are gathering tomorrow to get together with our family and our friends, you have to remember that even if we're different, God is doing something about knitting our families back together. He's really doing a deeper work in families that even if there have been differences, even if there have been different attitudes, and it's really going to be a beautiful, beautiful thing. And when you start to see God's hand in your families, you are going to see. Touch Gripper would like to share their screen. Wait. Okay. Okay, here's the herding cats video. Ready?
This man right here is my great-grandfather. He's the first cat herder in our family.
Herding cats. Don't let anybody tell you it's easy.
Anybody can herd cattle. Holding together 10,000 half-wild short hairs, well, that's another thing altogether.
Being a cat herder is probably about the toughest thing I think I've ever done.
I got this one this morning, right here, and if you look at his face, it's just ripped to shreds, You
see the movies, you hear the stories, I'm living a dream. Not everyone can do what we do.
I wouldn't do nothing else.
It ain't an easy job, but when you bring a herd into town and you ain't lost a one of them, ain't a feeling like it in the world.
Oh, that is the best. That is just the best. That is my life.
They want to know.
Come on, Rick. Hutch too tight.
Yeah, so Charles, I'm going to do something really special for you.
See, Uncle Charles is going to watch.
The Cumberland Mountain Bear Chase.
Woo!
This
Okay,
song
so Rick's going to play some music. I'm over 3,000 followers. Come on now. Look at this. How do you go from 400 to 3,000? Come on. I love that. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Okay, and then I guess what we're gonna, I'm telling you, now that we know how to do it, there's one right there. If you can get it, David.
Yeah, this one's
I'm telling you, we probably should have done this, but welcome to my world. This is it. Yeah, thank you, Trolls. Hey, you know what? We might get a couple of real people in it. Just be careful. Careful. Watch it. Nothing. Just be careful that you don't hit. There you go. Watch it. There you go. Good job. All right. Yeah. All right. So that's it. So this is something, we were always, we were very, very close growing up. And so I really believe that what God is doing in this next thing is he's going to start to show, as you can see, that there is so much that we all have. David is an artist, which my sister Tina also.
Hi, this is Rik Palieri.
So Ricky is now recording me. Hi.
Here is some of my family.
Hi.
All right.
And we're doing a broadcast right now.
Well, tell them what you're doing.
Okay, so I have a broadcast. It's a Christian broadcast called Crown Chats, which is seeing things from a heavenly perspective. And so if you look over here, you can see that we are live. And so so you can follow along Crown Chats. You can also go to my website, touchedbyprayer.com, and you can come and check out what the other part of the Palieris are doing.
Right. And this is my brother Dave.
Which side you want? Right side or left? Right. Now just hear when your teeth break. What are you doing?
Where you want it? Where you want it?
Left. That was a good one.
Okay, so we are going to have Ricky come over, and we're gonna play. But let me go back. New followers, welcome new followers, and we're gonna have some fun. And so it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Isn't this kind of like when you get together at the holidays? Everybody is very loud. Everything is all going all over the place. You know, everybody's talking, having their own conversation. Welcome to what it's like here, and we're gonna have Ricky tell some story. It's gonna be so good. I'm so excited. Ricky, I tagged you, so they can go over.
You know, Nancy Chase was watching, and she's probably, are you playing?
There we go. So
that's what I want to know.
You never know what's going to happen. I'm telling you, we're going to have to play that cat video again. We're going to have to play that cat herding video. So it's going to be, but anyway, I really want to say that one of the things that I really want you guys to do is just be present, just being present with your family, because it's super important.
And cooking.
This has been one of those. This has been one of those broadcasts that it's like getting away from it. But when you get together with your siblings, with your family, enjoy them. They don't have to believe what you believe. They don't have to. They don't have to agree with everything. They don't have to follow everything that you follow. You just have to be present. You just have to be present. When you tell someone to be careful, you're telling them to be full of care. Well, that's just some of it. You know, we have to start speaking in languages and showing love to people so that they don't feel like they're being accused or threatened. We've been to many celebrations where, you know, we got attacked, you know, with people who are, you know, beating you with the Bible, and that's not what true Christianity looks like. Jesus never did it, so neither should we. So I'm really excited about what God is doing, because as I said, and remember how I was talking about yesterday, how I was talking about that we are the remnant. Lana Valzer put out a new word yesterday, and it was about the remnant. It was about the remnant. So I'll make sure that I share that over on Crown Chats, over on Telegram, because that's something that I really feel. Cat herding. Okay. All right. So we have our cat. Wait, Uncle Charles, you got to see this for a second. Let me see if I can show this again. Okay. Hold on a second. Here we go. Come over here for a second. Okay. Ready?
This man right here is my great grandfather. He's the first cat herder in our family.
Herding cats. Don't let anybody tell you it's easy.
Anybody can herd cattle. Holding together 10,000 half-wild short hairs, well, that's another thing altogether.
Being a cat herder is probably about the toughest thing I think I've ever done.
I got this one this morning, right here, and if you look at his face, it's just ripped to shreds, you know.
You see the movies, you hear the stories, I'm living a dream. Not everyone can do what we do.
I wouldn't do nothing else.
It ain't an easy job, but when you bring a herd into town and you ain't lost a one of them, ain't a feeling like it in the world.
EDS, managing the complexities of the digital economy.
That's too funny.
That's so funny. That is so funny. All right, I don't know where Uncle Ricky went, but we're gonna, So what we're gonna do is, I really want to pray over you guys. I want to pray over your families, and I really want it to be a Thanksgiving, that you are thankful for your family, that you are thankful of being together, that you are thankful for having food, that you are thankful for being alive, that you are thankful. Even if you're not going to be with family, I'm going to pray that there's going to be an opportunity or something is going to open where you're not going to be alone, because I feel like this being alone thing, I really believe that God is really working on it and trying to connect people, because there is something bigger there. We are so much stronger when we go together, when we have people that we do life with. And so Lord, I just pray over each and every person right now that there is going to be a reconnection that is going to be in a greater way of family. I thank you, Father, that you are going to knit the hearts back together, to the siblings, to the parents, that there is going to be something that is going to shift and to change people's understanding. I thank you, Lord, for opening up doors of communication, that there is going to become a reconciliation. And I thank you, Father, that this Thanksgiving is going to be one where we become so thankful, because we have seen what it's like to do life alone, but now we are going to appreciate doing life together in the name of Jesus. Amen. Yo, Palieri, Mom. He is like, this is a whole new side of Rick. Usually Ricky is like ready. He's like sitting. He's like ready. But he's been off wandering. I'm telling you, the cat herding. I'm telling you, that's what it is. So he's getting out his guitar. And so we're going to have some music and some songs. Yeah. And then I'm just going to sit back, drink some coffee, and I'm going to let you guys hear what it's like to be a member of the Palieri family. Okay, Rick, I'm going to turn you this. You got to scooch over a little bit because you're out.
Gotta do that.
Yeah, you're going to have
Hold on.
We're going to have to bring you over. There we go.
There's mine.
Okay.
What do you need, Rick? I got you.
No, that's all right.
All right.
I was wearing.
I'm going to
somewhere.
move. Hold on. I'm going to move this.
What do you want?
I'm looking for the tuner.
Isn't that it?
Oh, he's
No,
got it.
I want to
Okay.
be in tune for you folks out there.
Okay, here we go.
And
Say hi to everybody.
Well, how's everybody doing today?
Okay, he's been showing us where you guys are. Hi, Mar. Mar is my sister-in-law. So we miss you, Mar. We wish you were here. Yeah, Ricky decided he wanted to do a broadcast at the exact same moment that we were doing a broadcast here. So I've just been.
It's a family thing.
It is a family thing. It is a family thing.
Everybody has their own way of communicating.
Yes.
And, and that's what I was trying to tell a lot of my friends, is that this is a special time that all of us, no matter how we agree or disagree on things, that we need to break bread together.
That's right.
We need to come together.
That's right.
And put some of that discussion, the heavy discussion, aside for another day.
Yes.
And let's try and come together in peace. And I'm going to be doing some songs I've been to Israel, and I have a lot of friends in Israel, and also some friends in Palestine. And it's a very hard time that everybody's going. I have also friends over in Ukraine, and so we're going to talk a little bit about that, because it's important that we don't forget what's going on. My guitar is still asleep from the ride. I want to thank you folks, for your support through the Grammy. We didn't win it this time. We didn't get in the second round, but your support was felt. It was a really good thing, and I was very honored that you cared enough. Who knew? There were so many people who supported that dream, and that's all what we're all talking about, is dreams and how to make dreams come true. And so that song, I'm going to sing it just for you, because you did help support the song. I wrote the song Wolf Song for my dear friend. Now, I was traveling all over the West and learning about Native American culture. They had me on schools, and I met with a wonderful flute player named Kevin Locke. I played a little bit of flute for you before. Kevin was a great flute player. He's no longer with us. He passed away.
Oh, that's
And after I met Kevin, and I asked permission if I could play the flute, and he gave me permission. He thought it was a good thing for people to, especially working with children, to let them know about the Native American traditions of music. That music was here long before anybody came here. The Native culture had their own music. And I love the way that there was so much storytelling going on. And I decided that I was going to learn how to tell some stories. We have a story about that later on, about Lisa's wedding and my storytelling. But Wolfsong passed away far too soon. And when they had a ceremony on Snake Mountain in Vermont, where I live, and way at the top of the mountain, there's a little bare spot, and that's where they scattered Wolfsong's ashes. And people stopped talking about him. They didn't remember him for some reason, and I felt it was time to honor him in the right way. So I went to Snake Mountain, and I looked at the top of that mountain where the trees don't grow, and I remembered Wolfsong. And when he would tell a long story, make sure that you were still listening. So he'd go, hey. And if you were still listening, you, ho. So I heard this, hey, ho, hey, ho, hey, ho. On Snake Mountain in the Vermont hills, high above the rocks and rills, after midnight, when the moon's in spring, you can hear the wolf song sing. Your part goes, hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, hey, oh, oh. Hey, ah, 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 hey, oh. He was a man. He walked this land, and he came from Abenaki clan. He shared his stories, he shared his soul, reaching out to young and old. Help us now, try it. Hey, ah, 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 hey, oh, oh, oh. Hey, ah, 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 hey, oh, oh. He held the legends, he kept the lore, and was welcome at every door. He heard the calling of the loon. Then he left with the daughter of the moon. Hey, ah, 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 hey, oh, oh. Hey, ah, 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 hey, oh. Now his journey in this world is through, but he still lives in me and you, like Usagabi and all his friends. Now his story will never end. No, no. Hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, oh, we remember. Hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, hey, oh, oh, oh. Hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, oh, we remember. Hey, ah, hey, oh, oh, one more time now. Hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, ah, we remember. Hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, oh, oh. Hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, oh, we remember. Hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, oh. family sing together. Now we got to tell them that story about I was learning how to tell stories.
Okay.
And so I was meeting with Wolfsong, and he was teaching me about the art of telling stories. And he said, Rick, you got to use your whole body. You have to be the story, not tell the story, but be the story. And so, Lisa, when she was getting married, she had a list of things that I had to do. I mean, I had a broom in my hand, and
look at Ryan.
And I'm sweeping, you name it. I was doing everything, and Lisa wanted me to sing a couple of different songs. I sang the wedding song by Peter Yarrow, and I played the Polish bagpipes. I learned how to get in the traditional outfit of the Polish, so I did that. And then she wanted me to do this kind of recitation.
No, I asked him to read 1 Corinthians 13, which
There you
is
go.
about love.
But I didn't really have enough time to really practice it.
Yeah.
So I decided to tell it like a Native American story, the same way. And we're at the wedding, and
the priest stopped the wedding.
And
said he's never heard somebody read 1 Corinthians 13 like that. Only my brother could upstage me at my own wedding. Just saying.
and so it was amazing. That's when I knew that I was getting the idea of what storytelling is. So, okay, folks. So storytelling in our family, this is what we were raised with. This is, and I thought that this was something that everybody did.
Yeah.
That sat around and told stories because that's what we did.
That's right.
And we like to hear the same story
over and over. It
didn't matter how many times that we heard the story, we wanted to hear it again. And so it became part of who we were. And we all had favorite stories, about Whistle.
Oh yeah, that's okay. So my mom had a cow named Whistle, and she loved this cow, and she would take it out to the pasture, and that was what she did until the one time that Whistle got stuck in quicksand. And so they had to go get all the villagers to come and pull Whistle out of the quicksand.
I always remember that.
Yeah.
But the most, I think, touching story that she would talk about is when the war broke out. Now we're, in Poland, in Smolos is a road that goes east to west. And so she watched as the different troops marched back and forth, and they took over the house. But before that, one of the first memories that she had, she was walking in a field, and she saw these sparkling raindrops falling from the sky, something different than she ever had seen before. And they were making such a big hole in the ground. So she didn't, and she said that she wanted to go out and touch these kind of shiny metallic raindrops. Of course, what she was witnessing were
gunfire.
It was two planes firing at each other, and those bullets flying all around her. And then she remembers the plane getting hit and coming down and crashing down into the field. And then her grandmother, because the way that the family, what happened was the Nazis came in and they took all the men. They took all the men from the village, leaving behind just the old grandpa and the grandmas.
Yeah.
And my mom's mother, Veronica Wydilla, she was basically going out and selling fabric to support the family because there was nobody to support the family.
Yeah.
So she was out on the road doing that. And meanwhile, the grandmothers were raising the children.
Yeah.
And so my mom would talk about when the war first broke out, how her grandmother had brought her into the city of Kobashova right after it was basically bombed, and she saw all these dead horses, and she saw all the carnage of war. And she was just a little girl, but her grandmother said, that she wanted her to understand how terrible war was, and that, that there was a price to pay when there was a war.
Basically, she was traumatized. I mean, she was a little girl, and she was traumatized because she saw all these dead horses. And
but the thing was that it wasn't very long. That was a wake-up call, because then the troops came through, took over the house, and the family were hiding out in the woods. And they were eating bark. Now, I didn't know that you could eat bark, but I did some research on that.
Well, maybe that's why Mommy wasn't a good cook. She was used to eating trees.
Yeah, she was eating. This is true. This is true.
She was not a good cook.
She was not a good cook.
No, we were talking about that.
Yeah. But that's how the family was basically surviving. They're hiding out in the woods, and that's why Grandma
used to bury food.
She used to bury food in the backyard because she was worried.
And other things.
Yeah, she would bury stuff.
Buried my dad's tool set in the backyard.
Anything that was important or of value, they would bury.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it was that kind. When I don't know how many folks out there come from a family from another land. I'm sure that most of us we do have these cultural ties. And one of the things that I do, and I've done over the years, and Lisa did one with me, was a special interview for the Library of Congress.
Yeah, we did that on Thanksgiving a couple of years ago.
And that's why I'm telling you folks.
Yeah.
If you go to a website about a day of listening, okay, you can make a recording at your family gathering, and it will be preserved at the Library of Congress, American Folklife Center. And it is a really very interesting thing to do, because we all sit around and say, someday I'm going to interview Grandma or Grandpa or somebody. And that time slips away, and we don't get a chance to do it. So if you go to that website, I don't know, you could pull it up, somebody out there. It's called, A Day of Listening for StoryCorps. StoryCorps, which is a huge archive of the stories of our land.
Yep.
And I've done many different interviews on there. And that's the whole thing about us. You see, we never had training for anything.
Yep.
Anything.
Nothing.
But that didn't stop us
from
anything.
No.
And we learned how to do things in our own way and make things happen. And so it's a mystery to me, and I'm sure to Lisa.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Lisa was going to be a preacher.
No. I still don't know how I got that.
Did you tell them the story about you being in the Macy's Day Parade?
No, I don't think I've ever shared that I was in the Macy's Day Parade. But we always, growing up, we would always watch the Macy's Day Parade. And I remember that I said one day, and this is the thing, we have to remember the power of our words, and we've been speaking about that. But I said that I was going to be in that Macy's Day Parade.
You remember. Where did the seed start?
It started watching the Macy's Day Parade.
No.
What?
When you met Bob McGrath from Sesame Street.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so I met Bob McGrath, who was Bob from Sesame Street, because Ricky used to do different festivals. And so he did the Blueberry Festival, which he had Harry Chapin, which David and I were brought up on stage.
I was on his shoulders.
Yeah, and we were dancing and singing. There's pictures of us meeting Bob. So I've always met famous people, like either through Ricky or just through happenstance. I've met like Connie Francis. I met Roy Rogers. I've met, who else did I meet? We've met Harry Chapin. We've met, I met Pete Seeger, which I think we talked about how you met Pete Seeger was through me.
Yeah, now that's a story worth telling.
Okay.
But before we digress into that.
Okay, go back to the Macy's story. Yeah, the Macy's story.
Do the Macy's story.
Okay, so I get a job. Okay, so all right, so Rob and I get married. Rob shuts down his business, and so I need to go get a job. So I tell Rob, I said, I'm gonna go to Macy's. I'm gonna go get a job. He's like, what do you mean you're gonna go get a job? I'm like, I'm gonna go get a job. He's like, okay, well, you might not get hired. I said, oh no, I'm gonna get hired. So I went and I interviewed, and they, instead of just making me a sales associate, they were gonna actually make me a manager, and they were really fighting for me to become a manager. So I come back home, and Rob said, well, see, I told you weren't going to get it. I'm like, I'm going to get it. I said, they just have to make a decision. Within 2 seconds, the phone rings and they offer the job to me. Just saying. But I always felt like I was brought to Macy's because I was going to be in that dang parade. Because I was going to be in that parade. And so of course, because I have background, I was on, okay, so this was when they were doing the 20th anniversary of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And the person who was in the float was Della Reese, who was from the television show Touched by an Angel.
Yeah.
Okay, so just saying. So Della Reese was on this float that I was a part of. And so I was dressed up like an M&M because it was World of Pure Imagination. And so they had different people, but I was on the ground. So I walked the whole thing, and it was crazy. You have to get up at you have to be in Brooklyn by 4 o'clock in the morning to get yourself ready, because they start. And so you have to get to your location and you wait there, but you have to go first to Brooklyn to go get into your costumes, and then they take you back to Brooklyn to take off your costume. So anyway, so I'm walking, and we get in front of Macy's Herald Square. Now, because now we had to do very simple choreography. And so it was just kick, turn, kick, turn. That's it. So you would turn this way, and then you would turn that way. Well, when I got in front of Macy's, I saw where the camera was, and I saw what light was on. And so when I kicked, I stayed within that camera view. I did really small turns and really small kicks so that I would constantly be. And the funny thing is that Rob's family, they were watching, and they're all saying, we're never going to see Lisa. Do you know how many people are in the Macy's Day Parade? You're never going to see Lisa. But see, you have to remember something, that when you put it in your head that you're going to be seen, you become seen. And so everybody, you got to see me. You were in Vermont.
Oh yeah.
And so they're like, there she is.
There's Lisa. Yeah, we're saying, where's Lisa? And we're looking, and there she is. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing. I only did the Macy's Parade once, but I did it. And it was something that, because and to this day, we still watch the Macy's Day Parade, but it was one of those moments that you have to sometimes, like, I think the thing is that I don't think anything is impossible. I think everything is possible. Like there is something in both of us, actually in all three of us, that we can constantly say, oh yeah, that's going to happen. Oh, that's totally going to happen. Oh yeah, I'm going to meet this person. I'm going to meet that person, because that's just the way it is. And I think it's just because we've just been taught, like from my mother. My mother she never gave up on anything. Anything she wanted to do, she made happen.
They call it being stubborn.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. Well, there's that. But I mean, everything, like we were talking about it last night, and everything that my mom taught us is she taught us that you can do anything.
Now we've been talking a lot, and Dave has not had a chance to.
I know, he's sitting here looking so regal.
And Dave
has
it's
stories.
time for the fishing pole story.
Oh, yes.
And my friends think that you tell the fishing story.
No.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah,
better than I do.
Anybody.
You put me under pressure.
No. You gotta tell the fishing pole story.
Now the recollection that I have.
Right. Let's hear your version.
So I was down in Florida.
Yes.
And my father had a Garcia fishing reel.
Yes, brand new.
Brand new. new pole, and he was very, very
proud of it.
Yes, he was smitten, as they say. With
Brand new. I think it even had a tag on it.
Oh,
never used. It was never used.
Never used.
Behind the door.
And like he showed it to me,
and then he put it away.
He put it away. Now the next day, Dave and I decided to go fishing.
We did.
And whose idea was it to take Dad's pole?
Probably mine. I wanted to break that tag off and go try out this fishing pole. I didn't care if I was going to get beat or whatever. I said, it'd be worth it. Let's go take the fishing pole. And so Rick was like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's take it." So then me and my brother, we get the fishing pole and we go to the spot. We picked out a really nice spot that was under Galley Causeway
in Florida.
And we set up the pole, and I'm ready to go into the tackle box, and the pole goes boop, into the water.
So you didn't
because of fish.
Wait.
No, we had it tied up in there. They had bait on it.
Yeah, and it was terrible because we're there, and it was like one of those moments where everything, there would be dramatic music as we watched Dad's fishing pole slowly roll.
And I tried to catch it, and I actually jumped in the water. And it was kind of, and I know there's sharks around there and stuff. So I was like, maybe a bad idea. but I kept swimming pretty far down where the water was really cold. And I was like, I can't even hold my breath. And I was looking for this fishing pole, and I'm like, God, I got to get up. So I got back up. I got back onto the concrete slab, and me and Rick just looked at each other. We're like, we're dead. We're busted. But we figured that we're never going to tell. We're just going to go back home.
We were going to just kind of ignore it.
But I think we even had a plan. We were going to buy him a new one.
We were going to buy him a new pole. That
didn't work out. Yeah, that was
the next day.
Guess who wanted to go fishing?
One of his best friends.
Who took off work
to
spend time with his sons.
And he spent a lot of time looking for
his fishing pole. Yeah, and he goes, "Oh, Dave, just get me the fishing pole behind the door." And I go, I can't find it, but I'll tell you what, you can use this surf rod. Remember the big surf rod?
Yeah.
He goes, "Well, it's right there. You don't see it?" I'm like, let's just use the surf rod. So he goes, "All right." So we all piled up into the, what truck did we use? A truck?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I think I remember a truck. And we all piled up, the big surf rod, fishing pole, another fishing pole, me, Rick, and my dad.
Now, the one thing,
and his friend Smitty or something. I thought
my father was not a good fisherman.
No.
We had a nickname for him. Do you remember it? Mr. Bo Tangle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When he took us, well, there's another story. That's a little snippet. No. When we went fishing, he caught my hat and threw it into the ocean, and I had to go get it. So that's true too. I jumped into the ocean, swam out, and got my hat.
So here we are.
So
we're back to the exact same spot.
Yes.
He said, "This is the best spot. We're gonna. I know we're gonna catch something." We all went to the exact same spot.
And then he had that surf rod, and I'll never forget it. I put on the big weight, and I put the shrimp on it, and he went back there and he screwed it. And me and my brother were like, "Man, that thing went out for like a mile. I don't know, it just soared way out there and bloop, landed into the ocean." And we're like, okay. So then we're sitting there, and then all of a sudden, his rod pulls down like this and starts shaking and shaking. And we were like, what the heck is he getting? And he starts reeling and reeling. The rod's twisting, and he's reeling and reeling. The whole pole's pulling down. And me and my brother and all, like, what's he got? What kind of fish? He got shark? Does he got like a huge sting?
Everybody starts
everybody's coming around the area.
What does he have on this?
And he's pulling, he's reeling, and he's reeling, and the pole is pulling down. And me and my brother's like, man, this is gonna be like a Jonah whale. I don't know what this thing's gonna be.
It's huge.
And so then he starts reeling, and he starts bringing it up to the water, to the surface. And we're looking down, me and my brother, and we start seeing this eye like a stick coming up slowly. I'm like, what the heck is that? And he's reeling, and then we see a ring coming up, and we're like, what the hell is that? And he reels and reels, another ring, and then we were, oh my God!
It's
my father had two horseshoe crabs stuck together
on guess
what? The fishing pole that me and Rick lost in the middle with all string and the bait still on it, and he pulls it up, and then he starts taking off all the string and everything. And me and my brother just like, we're dead. And then he cuts all the string off and everything, and he looks at it and goes, Never heard he goes, I got one just like this at home. and then me and Rick are like, okay. He goes, you know what? This is the best day. He said, I'm gonna go over and put this one. And then I got two of them. Two of the same pole. Who would guess? Yeah, who would have thought? Yeah. Oh. And me and Rick are like, dying laughing.
What are we gonna do now?
Yeah, and then we were like, you tell him. I go, Dad. He goes, what? He goes, that's your pole. He goes, no. My pole's at home. I'm like, no.
That's your pole.
That's your fishing pole. And Rick was like, oh, he got it. And then my dad, he was really mad. We got it back. We got it back. It still works.
And it had a story.
Yeah, it had a story. And we got hit by it. Yeah.
He was saying, can you believe
that?
I caught my own pole.
Yeah. I don't know how he caught his own fishing pole, but he did. And I think Jesus put that fishing pole on that thing because there's no way. He threw it so far out there.
It was out in the middle of it.
Yeah, in the middle of the ocean, in the Indiana Ocean, and he caught that thing. It was crazy. That was the craziest day.
That's the kind of thing that would happen to us
in our family all the time.
Yeah.
You know. How often does someone catch their own fishing pole?
I don't know.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
And how can you tell that in the fishing story is go, what did you catch? And they're like, I caught snook. I caught my own fishing pole. You ever catch that? Yeah.
But see, my father, he would always get things and he would always say, and it was fun because we would be like, he would say, oh, I'm going to put one here and one there.
And he had two of everything.
Yeah. And so my mom.
And we couldn't touch it.
There was a time that my mom was going to the amusement park. And she would like put money on the wheel and she would win. And so she got, the first thing that she got was a Dalmatian dog, really big ceramic Dalmatian dog. And my mom, we had it in front of the fireplace and Tina was little and Tina picked up the dog because she broke it. So my mom cleaned everything up and put it up in the attic. And my dad's like, well, where's the dog? Where's the dog? Mom's like, you know what? The kids, I was afraid they were we'll pull it out when they get older.
Yeah.
You know,
it was a boxer.
Yeah, and no, that was the second one.
Yeah.
So then a couple weeks later, my mom goes back to the same same carnival, same amusement park, and she plays again and wins another dog. Yeah. So now she got the boxer. So we had the boxer for a really long time. Yeah. And then so my dad's like, whoa, we got two. Yeah. We'll put one here and we'll put one there. Go get the dog. And so now my mom's like, you know, so but that was the thing.
The thing that they were always breaking things.
Yeah, I was about to say, Rick, this is about the vase, the big vase, the huge vase in the kitchen. And then you play the one. But there's this huge vase that I don't know, we were playing in the kitchen, we broke it.
Yeah.
And it was like my dad's favorite vase.
Yeah.
And then we're like,
it was the one that held she held
really
something
big.
like this.
Right.
Like a Greek goddess holding flowers.
And I was always fixing.
Yeah. So we glued it all back together.
We glued it, but there was
the best, we decided to paint it. We painted it.
Well, we had to paint it because there was a part missing.
Cracks.
Yeah, and there were cracks.
We took plaster of Paris.
Yes.
And we remade the vase.
Yes, yeah. And I put texture with a sponge.
It didn't look right.
It didn't look right.
So we sprayed it gold.
Yeah, sprayed it gold. And they never knew.
And we played it. And my father was looking over and goes, was that always gold?
So one of the things that we love to do is we would love to, because Ricky's been playing music since I've been a little girl. And that's one of the things that
I wanted to play Charles this special song first.
All right, you're going to play the Cumberland Mountain Bear Chase, right? Okay. Oh, this is my favorite. This is one of my favorite. There were a couple of songs that were my favorite, but one of the things that we would do, no matter what was happening in our house, we could have pandemonium. We could have all kinds of stuff, but when Ricky took out his instruments, everything settled. And my dad loved when he would play, and we would just sit and he would listen and he would clap his hands and he was always so excited to watch his son play.
Now you see what's on my banjo head.
Well, hold on. I'll do it in 1 second. Hold on, give me 1 second here.
Yeah.
I got to do this. Hold on. Right. Hold on, because otherwise it's going to be. All right, there we go.
And you can see. Now, my mentor that I learned banjo from, Pete Seeger, he always had a sign on his banjo, and it said, "This machine surrounds hate and forces it to surrender." Now, I was given something that was similar to that after doing a project with Pete. And his daughter, Tina, she said, "You know, Rick, Pops," she called him Pops. She said, "Pops used to spend a lot of time, putting that lettering on his banjo head because he really believed in it. This machine surrounds hate and forces it to surrender." She said, "And the thing that you have is nice, but it was manufactured. It's not something that you're from." She said, "Do you think you could do something and make it your own?" And so I thought about it, and for a long time I was carrying around this little idea about, there is no hope without dignity. That you can't expect things to change unless you give people dignity. And I was thinking about that, and so I changed it. Instead of "This machine surrounds hate," because I didn't think that, and force it to surrender, I didn't feel that powerful, but I said I could foster hope and bring people together. So that's what this banjo says. This machine fosters hope and brings people together. And that's the truth. It's really part of my being about using music as a tool to bring us together.
And I noticed inside the Rick, what's that napkin? Does that have any significance?
It was given to me
by who?
The Daily Antidote of Song. This is a thing that people get together every day at noon, all these wonderful singers, and for a half an hour, they teach people a song. And it's really incredible. It started during COVID times, and it's still going on. And a lot of really professional musicians are involved in this project. And so when I wasn't feeling good one day, I got a care box from all the people from the Antidote of Song, and this was in there. And it just quiets it up because I play banjo a little bit loud.
Shocking. It's my favorite.
And I wanted to do this for Charles because he was talking about, if you go into the house there's a few of the hunting trophies, and reminding him of the days that he was hunting with his grandpa, right? And so this is a song that I learned from Pete Seeger. And the funny thing about it is the melody actually comes from where I lived in Poland.
Really?
They had the same melody that Uncle Dave Macon, the great banjo player from the Grand Ole Opry, somehow he got the melody from, and he put this story to it. And then Pete made for his kids, he kind of made it more interesting, like this. See him, rover, catch him, over the mountain, the hills, the mountain, away to chase away. Once upon a time, there was a little boy. He used to want to go hunting with his father. His father would be out all night long with the dogs, and he'd want to come too. But always his father would say, "No, son, you're too young. You got to stay home." Well, the boy, he kept on crying and pulling on his leg, and he said, "All right, son, next birthday you'll be old enough. I'll take you with me." Now, the little boy thought the father would forget, but he didn't. And the next birthday rolled around, as birthdays do. He reminded his father of the promise. He said, "All right, son, we'll go out hunting. But we're hunting bears. I see a bear. I'm going to have to move quickly. I can't just wait and lead you home by the hand." The little boy said, "Pa, I got my horn. I'll stick my horn in my back pocket. If I get lost out on the trail, I'll just take it out and blow on it. Old Blue, he's the lead hound dog. He'll hear that signal. He'll come show me the way home." So off they went together. rover, catch him, over the mountain, the hill, the mountain, away to chase away. My father, he saw a big bear. He had to start moving quickly. And the little boy was trying to keep up. But his little legs got tired. And he got further and further and further behind. Till he was alone in the woods. And he kept reaching out for some help, and nothing was happening, and he was getting scared. It started getting darker. Nobody had come. Then he remembered he had his horn in his back pocket. He took his horn out and he blew it. Oh, Blue, where are you? But all he could hear was an old hoot owl sitting in a tree. Went. So he took his horn and blew it again. Oh, Blue, where are you? But all he could hear was that old hoot owl. Then way off in the distance, he heard something. It started coming closer and closer. And there it was. It was old Blue. He's leading the whole hound back. And they started coming closer and closer. Oh, way bound for the mountain, bound for the mountain, over the hills, the fields, the fountain, away to chase away. Rover, see him, rover, catch him, over the mountain, the hill, the fountain, away to chase away. An old tree on the trail. Oh, Bugle's got it now, smart old dog. Down the hollow. What's that? I see that dog. You got that big bare tree. Oh, way down the mountain, over the hills and the fields and the fountain, away to chase away.
That's my favorite part when the old blue finds they find that bear and they oh.
And I think that was the beautiful thing about Pete Seeger was he touched people's lives, little children, no matter what age you were, he would sing that song that he said, Bobby Yo-Yo. No.
I know. I always am like, oh, Bobby Yo-Yo. Yeah.
How do I know my youth is all spent? My get up and go just got up and went. But in spite of it all, I'm able to grin and think of the places my get up has been. Well, old age is golden, or so I've heard said. But sometimes I wonder, as I crawl into bed, with my ears in a drawer, my teeth in a cup, my eyes on the table until I wake up. As sleep ends my vision, I say to myself, is there anything else I should lay on the shelf? But though nations are warring and business is vexed, I'll still stick around and see what happens next. How do I know my youth is all spent? My get up and go just got up and went. But in spite of it all, I'm able to grin and think of the places my get up has been. When I was younger, my slippers were red. I could kick up my heels right over my head. And when I was older, my slippers were blue, but still I could dance the whole night through. Now I'm still older, and my slippers are black. I huffed to the store and I puffed my way back, but never you laugh. I don't mind at all. I'd rather be huffing than not puff at all. How do I know my youth is all spent? My get up and go just got up and went. But in spite of it all, I'm able to grin and think of the places the get up has been. I get up each morning and dust off my wits, then open the paper and read the obits. For if I'm not there, I know I'm not dead. So I eat a good breakfast, then go back to bed. How do I know the youth is all spent? My get up and go just got up and went. But in spite of it all, I'm able to grin and think of the places my get up has been. Now, Pete said that he was in singing at a senior center, and he went into the bathroom and found the words written on the wall.
Oh, really?
For that song.
That's so funny.
And it took him a long time to figure out who was the author, but he eventually did. Somebody came forward. But that's a song that he would sing, because the whole thing that Pete was always looking out, like trying to find a song for everybody. Try to find a song for everybody. I remember when I was a young kid, I was talking to him on the phone about something else, and I said, Pete, I have this show to do, and I need to put together a set list. How do you go about putting together a set list? He says, well, Rick, start with something you know. So then look out into the audience, see who's out there. There's young people, old people, black people, white people, city people, country people. He said, become a needle and go through all the buttonholes of everyone that you see in the audience and pick out a song that's just for them. And if you do everything right, you just pull the string, whoop, and everybody will sing along.
There you go. That's so good.
That's an impressive way to put together a set list.
That is.
To try to find something for everybody. There was another song I wanted to do. Let's see if I can get it. And I'm going to move the capo down. Now, Dave always quotes, something that Pete would say. But we banjo players, we spend half of our life tuning and the rest of our life playing out of tune. Now, this song is a song that was written by Ed McCurdy. Big guy. He was a big guy. I got a chance to meet him once. And we're playing at the festival, and I was the MC, and there was a Latin band going. They were bringing down the house. They were bringing everybody, stomping and everything. And Ed had his young son with him, and they had to follow that. And his son was getting all kinds of frightened about trying to follow that. And Ed just said, well, we're not going to give them what they want. We're going to give them what they need. And he went out there and he sang the song. And we're going to sing the song. And you might have heard the song before. And I'm sending it out to all our friends and people who are struggling with war, because we talked about that before. We're going to send it out to people in Israel, people in Palestine, the people in the Ukraine, people who are fighting to stay alive. And he wrote this song. Last night I had the strangest dream. I never dreamed before. I dreamed the world had all agreed to put an end to war. I dreamed I saw a mighty room. It was filled with women and men. And the paper they were signing said they'd never fight again. And when the papers were all signed and 1,000,000 copies were made, they all joined hands, bowed their heads, and grateful prayers were prayed. And the people in the streets below were dancing round and round, and swords and guns and uniforms were scattered on the ground. Last night I had the strangest dream I never dreamed before. I dreamed the world had all agreed to put an end to war. So we're sending out that sign of peace. Here we are on the day before Thanksgiving.
Being thankful.
Being thankful, grateful.
And grateful.
Grateful for all the blessings that we've had in life. And
Yep.
we've had many.
Yep.
And and just being together is the first time that we've been together as a family in a long time.
Since we've been kids.
Everybody, David got out of his box and they let him out, and here he is. And
living proof.
Living proof. And we're here in this beautiful place in North Carolina.
Yep.
With a new discovered family.
Yes. We're very excited about that. But I don't think it would be Thanksgiving if we didn't tell our Thanksgiving story. Because there's always a story.
There's the story.
There's always
There's
a story.
The story. Now this story is a true story. As most of the stories.
All of our stories
are true. They might be embellished.
Yes. To make it more interesting.
But here it was the day before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And I was having some really, really difficult car problems. My cars, I don't know, they were breaking down. I had one last chance to make some money before Thanksgiving to give a guitar lesson. And I didn't have a car that could make the trip. So I went to my mother, who had this beautiful powder blue Eldorado Cadillac with white leather interior.
It was her dream car.
It was a beautiful car.
It was a pretty car.
And with a trepidation, I asked her, "Mom, can I borrow your car?" And feeling the good spirits of Thanksgiving.
She was very generous. My mother was always very generous. Our mother was generous.
Handed me the keys. Well, everything started well. I started driving down the road. I was heading out over to Califon, New Jersey, to give this guitar lesson to a good friend. And I'm almost there, and I noticed there's a problem. A little bit of smoke is starting to come out of the engine hood. And a little bit more, and a little bit more, and I'm realizing this is not good. And I pull over to the side of the road, and I open up the thing, and sure enough, there's a fire going on in the engine. And now I'm saying, "Oh my, there's a fire in the car." And I would get some rags, and I start, putting out the fire. And I carefully get over to my friend's house, who I'm giving the lesson to, who knew things about cars. And he looked at it and he said, "Maybe it was just a fluke. I don't think it'll happen again. You'll
be fine.
You'll be fine." So I got back and I was fine. And being that it was like the day before Thanksgiving that night, no, I didn't feel there was any necessity
to tell them.
No, we didn't want to talk about that, So I didn't say anything. And the next morning, everybody's getting ready for Thanksgiving. Oh boy, all the people started arriving, and my mother's cooking, and
she forgot cranberry sauce.
She forgot it. And she started to call my father.
Bill!
She said, "Bill,
we need cranberry sauce. Go to the store and get it."
At this time, the driveway was pretty blocked up because there were people coming. More and more people are coming. and he couldn't get his car out.
No, he was in the driveway. Nobody was allowed to park in the driveway because the car was there. And so, yeah, because it was in the driveway that it happened. It couldn't have been in front of the car, in front of the house. It was in the driveway. See, this is why you have to have people who verify your story.
I wasn't even there, but I know that it was in the driveway.
All right, so here we were in the driveway, and I didn't want to get too close, because you never know what's going to happen. And he gets in the car and he starts cranking the key. It's not turning over. I'm standing there and I'm looking. And he's starting to get a little aggravated. He goes, "What's the matter with the car? The car's not starting." At that point, my aunt's boyfriend, Jerry,
Uncle Jerry.
He owned a service station.
Yep, he knew about cars.
He knew, and so he went over and said, "What's the matter?" He goes, "Well,
car's not working.
Car's not working. No, it's not starting." And he said, Jerry said, "Well, maybe there's something wrong with the carburetor.
Pop that hood."
Open that hood. Now I'm moving back a little bit.
Ricky's running away.
No, I'm still there, but I'm observing.
At distance.
And Jerry goes, "Well, gasoline, I think there's some in the garage."
So my dad goes and gets, because I'm outside. I was always with my daddy. So I'm outside. There's a little baby jar that he gets, and Jerry fills it with gasoline. They come back out, and he has it was a yellow rag. I remember the yellow rag, and it was inside because he always had a rag, because I guess that's what mechanics do.
He pulled it out of his back pocket.
And he had a rag, and so he put.
My father's in there ready to,
and they put the gasoline in.
Boom! Well, the whole engine's on fire. And at this point,
Jerry has the cup of gasoline in his hand with the rag, and the rag catches on fire.
Molotov cocktail.
And so Uncle Jerry throws the little gasoline of baby jar of gasoline into our neighbor's yard.
So at this point,
which catches on fire.
The car's on fire. The next door neighbor's yard is on fire, and my mother's taking out the turkey out of the oven, and she
sees the fire.
And she drops it.
And she drops the turkey. So we go inside. My grandmother, my father's mother, she's like, "Everybody get boots."
Yeah.
So I run inside, I put on my boots, and we're all outside, and we're trying to stomp out the fire.
Stomping out the fire. So, the fire goes out.
Yep.
But burns the whole neighbor's yard.
Yeah.
It's black.
So Lisa,
my mother
had
great idea. Yeah,
my
Mom
mother
had a great idea.
Get leaves. So we're running from our yard, and we're taking all of our leaves, and we're putting them on the next door neighbor's yard, covering the black.
Fire. Yeah.
Thinking that that's going to work.
Yes. Not knowing about wind.
But for the moment,
it looked good.
It looked good. You couldn't tell that it was caught on fire.
Yeah. So everything kind of settles down.
Yeah. And I heard the neighbor was away on vacation.
Yeah,
Decides to come back.
And she comes and she says to my mother, because she knows that my mother is a farmer from a farming company. She's like, "I don't know what's wrong with my grass. It's black." And my mother goes, "Oh, you had too many leaves until it didn't." You had too many leaves and it killed the grass. It'll come back up in the spring.
Yeah. So at this point, we all go in to have Thanksgiving.
We had Thanksgiving.
We're sitting at the table. Everything's going good. I'm not saying anything.
No.
Not saying anything. And all of a sudden, my mother gets this look on her face, and she goes, "Ew! You were the one who used my car. What did you do to my car?" I was like, "Oh." So I had to admit to what had happened. Yeah. And Jerry was sitting at the table, and Jerry says, "Don't worry about it. We'll get the car over to my station, and I'll fix it. We'll be fine."
Yeah.
So the next day, I drive. We get the car to start.
Yeah.
I drive it over to get it repaired, and I'm parked right in front of Jerry's station. And I walk inside, and Jerry's at the counter, and we're talking together and about what we're gonna do to the car. And this Mack truck comes out of nowhere and smashes the entire back of the Eldorado. Boom!
Right.
And it was like totally destroyed.
Yeah.
And Jerry looks at me and goes, "You think I should call your mother?"
I don't think it was meant to be fixed.
No, that is a true.
Yeah.
That is a true story.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny.
Oh, man.
And there were so many.
It wasn't funny at the moment.
Oh, it was-
it's funny
it was
now, but at the time it wasn't funny.
Oh yeah. And that's the thing. It's like so many things have happened, and sometimes there have been hard things that people have gone through in your families. You've gone through hard things, but see, when you can look at the irony, if you can look at the craziness of the situation, you can find laughter. And that's one of the things that we've always done. We didn't have an easy family life. There was lots of violence, there was lots of yelling, there was lots of craziness.
Made us better people.
But it did.
When music was in the house,
It was different.
It really.
There was no arguments when the music.
No.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing, is that when I started playing, and now you could tell the Pete Seeger story,
Yeah.
because it's the appropriate time.
It's the appropriate. See, timing is of everything. Okay.
Right.
So Ricky, he's always going someplace and we're kids. And so Ricky is 11 years my senior to the day.
Born on my birthday.
I'm born on his birthday, 11 years
I was
apart.
in the backyard having a football game, and everybody was playing football, and that's when I heard the news that I had a baby sister, on my birthday.
Me.
And ever since then, she shares the birthday cake.
Yep.
Yeah.
We do.
Mhm.
We do. And so that Ricky and I have always been very close. And I don't know if it's just because of the relationship that we had, but one of the things that I really felt is I would always listen to what Ricky said. And because of who I am a promoter. It's just who I am. I've been promoting people since I've been a little girl, and this story will prove it. Okay. So Ricky says he's going to see Pete Seeger somewhere. So my mom decides that she's going to take me and David and my sister Tina, and we're going to go to New York City, and we're going to go to the Museum of Natural History.
I love that. Yeah.
Right. So we're seeing the dinosaurs and everything. So when it comes out, it comes right into Central Park. There's a part of it that comes into Central Park, and not too far there is a playground. So we go to the playground for a little bit. David's in a stroller. That's how he was young. So as we're walking, I'm seeing these people with instruments, and there's lots of them, and they're all walking, and I'm like, oh, so because I'm like, what's going on? And they said, oh, Pete Seeger is doing a free concert. So I said to my mother, I said, oh, Pete Seeger is doing a concert. I go, Mommy, I guess Ricky's going to be there. Let's go find him. So my mother's like, okay. So we go to where the concert is. And I said to my mother, okay, I'm 9 years old. I say to my mother, okay, you stay here. And Tina and I are going to go find Ricky. Okay. And my mother lets a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old.
Well, that was safe then, I think.
Yeah. Well, no, it really wasn't, but it was fine. It was fine. And so we go, and I quickly go through the perimeter of every place, and I don't see my brother. So I come back to my mother. I don't see him, but something inside of me says he's backstage. And I was like, Mom, I think he's backstage. I think he's friends with Pete Seeger. Now, again, he wasn't friends with Pete Seeger, but see, the giftings, and this is such a cool thing, the giftings that you have, that God has placed inside of you, have always been there. And so because I'm very prophetic, it was something prophetic that I knew that they were going to be friends, even though I didn't understand it. I was just a kid. So I take my sister, and we go to the bodyguard who's like blocking the backstage. And I said, hi. I said, my brother is backstage with Pete Seeger. And he goes, okay. So he takes me to the trailer, opens the door, and we go in, and me and Tina and I are there. And there's Pete Seeger and his wife, Toshi. She's ironing something. And Pete Seeger is sitting on the bed, and he's filing his nails. And I'm looking, and I'm like, I don't see my brother. So I'm like trying to kind of figure out. And Toshi's like, hi. And we're like, hi. And they're like, who are you? And I said, I'm Lisa, and this is Tina. I said, we're looking for my brother. And then I said, hey, I know you. I go, you're Pete Seeger. I said, my brother makes me wake him up when you're on Sesame Street. And he says, oh, he does. I said, yeah. I said, he's a really good banjo player. I said, he's almost as good as you. Now I'm 9 years old, and I'm telling Pete Seeger that my brother is as good of a banjo player as him. So they said, what's your brother's name? And I said, Rik Palieri. And then I tell them, and then they said, well, he's not here. And I said, okay. So then I don't know how they did it, but they say, okay, you can go now. So then we left. So the next morning I say to Ricky, Pete Seeger's he's nervous. He's always filing his nails. And Ricky's like,
I didn't know anything about this meeting. So I didn't really pay too much attention. And I just put my banjo on my back and I went out to this festival that I knew he was going to be playing at. Now, I had been at these kind of festivals before, and I, because I was a young guy, and then, it was always some young kids around. So we were playing on the side of the stage, and who comes over but Pete? And he takes out his big 12-string guitar and he starts strumming along with us. And I was like, I couldn't believe this was happening, because this was the first time that I was actually playing music with Pete. And the music stops and he looks at me and he says, I haven't seen you before. Who are you? And I said, Rik Palieri. He said, Rick, I met your sisters yesterday. I said, what? I met your sisters yesterday, and they told me you were a good banjo player. Why don't you come and join us up on the stage, and we'll play a couple songs together? And he did. He brought me up on the stage.
And they became friends.
And that was the beginning of a long, long friendship that lasted until he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's the thing. It's like sometimes we don't even understand sometimes the things that we hear or the things that we feel, but we have to trust them. We have to start believing that the messages that we get, we have to believe that they're really coming from God, because there are people you need to have in your life that are going to take you into destiny. And if it wasn't that meeting, if I would have just been like, well, that's a weird thing to think, but I didn't. I've always been this way. So if you guys ever wanted to know, have I always been this way? I've always been this way.
She's always been this way.
I've always been this way. I haven't, I've changed spiritually, but I haven't changed who I am.
She tried to sing Italian opera.
Yeah, but we don't do that. No, we don't do that anymore.
No more.
We don't do that anymore.
No, but she tried.
She tried.
Hey, I got an award.
Right.
Yeah. I did get an award.
But now like a rooster, yes.
No. Okay, so this is the thing, is that we've always, since we've been kids, we've always played. I played the piano. We would sing. We would play. I would sing. We would play If I Were a Rich Man, and my father would dance and sing. So have been lots of different things that we could. But I would like you to play one last song before we get off.
What's that?
Would you play the Westbound? Because that's one of my favorite songs.
Oh, you want the Westbound?
Yeah. Well, we can do the Westbound, and then you could do Irene Goodnight.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good.
Right?
Get my guitar
Okay.
here.
So.
Well, so this is a story.
Yeah. Well, because I'm a part of this story too.
Yeah.
Right?
How are you a part of this story? I'm trying to remember.
The whole vision of the.
Oh, you want the whole? Yes.
I am a part of this.
So I was at this hobo jungle. Now, when we're talking hobos, we're talking timers back in the 1950s, 60s, who rode in the days of steam trains. And there a lot of you probably have a relative, that uncle or somebody like that, or who because during the Great Depression, people went out and they were riding the freight trains. The word hobo goes all the way back to the Civil War. It was for those guys who fought in the Civil War, and then they tried to come home, and there was no home. There was no. They had to take time to get home, so they were called homeward bounds. Mm-hmm. So they took the HO and from home and bound, and it became the hobo. That's one of the stories about the hobos. So I met a lot of the old hobos out in Britt, Iowa, the National Hobo Convention, and that they all had a couple of nicknames, monikers. They're like
Steam Train,
yeah.
David
Redbird. He went out.
Yeah.
All these people. And my favorite old hobo was named Frog.
Frog.
Now Frog got his moniker, his nickname, onto a moving boxcar. And, Frog wasn't doing that well. He wasn't a healthy guy. And all the old hobos were worried he's going to catch the westbound. And when you catch the westbound, you get the little last train to heaven. You want to catch the westbound if you can help it. And I was over on tour in England, and I got an email from all my hobo pals, because the hobos are online these days. And they told me that old Frog had crossed the westbound. So I wrote the song, I emailed it in. And a few days later, I got back an email that had a big party for Frog over in St. Paul, Minnesota. And all the hobos were there, and they were singing songs and poetry over their dear fallen comrade. And right in the middle of the festivity, they got us who? Frog. And he's wondering why there's a big party going on, and he wasn't invited. He said, Frog, we thought you were dead. He said, dead? No, I was robbed. What do you mean you were robbed? I was walking down the street, and somebody lifted my wallet, stole my ID. They pretended they were me. They traveled all over. They found themselves on a bus out to North Dakota, and they died.
Oh.
When the police found them, they found my stolen ID. They thought it was me too. Started calling up my relatives, telling them I'm dead. I'm here to tell you that I ain't dead. But now the good thing is I know exactly what my funeral's going to be like. I live my life as a hobo. My only home is this old train. I've been a frog and a king, Lord, I've done everything. Now I'm riding on that westbound train. Let the jungle fires burn wild and free, and pass my bottle around. Let the train whistle blow, tell the old boat I'm a riding on the westbound. I slept in every old boxcar. I rode down every railroad line. Now I don't have to boast. I rode coast to coast, now on that old westbound. Let jungle fires burn wild and free, and pass my bottle around. Let the train whistle blow, tell the old boat I'm a riding on the westbound. Light a candle at the back of my boxcar, and gather my good friends around. Let the old banjo ring while the old hobos sing. I'm a riding on that old westbound. Let the jungle fires burn wild and free, and pass my bottle around. Let the train whistle blow, tell the old boat I'm a riding on the westbound. Lay me down on a blanket of cardboard. Use my bindle to pillow my head. And when my body's gone, my spirit will ride on, riding on that old westbound. A young hobo hopped off a boxcar just outside of town. He found a quiet little jungle where he could lay his bindle down. He grabbed some dry firewood to brighten up the night, but when he struck his match, he saw an awful, eerie sight. For the campfire glowed and sparkled with a brilliant rainbow flame, flickering and dancing like the headlight of a fast westbound train. When out of the smoke and cinders and through the fiery air came the ghosts of some old hobos he thought he met somewhere. They came and shook his hand, as all good hobos do, and they offered up a spud or two, and they started boiling up a stew. Each of us caught the westbound, one beau said with a tear, but we all come back to Pennsburg, if only once a year, in the third week in September, when fall is almost here. We hobo out of heaven, and we jungle up right here. You see, this old jungle is a mighty secret spot where hobos came year after year and camped on this very lot. It was the best gathering that you could ever find, where hobos were respected and treated oh so fine. Well, the moon started yawning, for it was almost dawn. The beaux made up their packs and said they'd be moving on. Then there was a mighty whistle, and the campfire filled with steam, and all the hobos vanished like it was just a crazy dream. The young beau sat bewildered. He said, How could this really be? Is it something I've been drinking, or is my mind just fooling me? Then he looked into the fire, and what he saw he could not explain, for there were his hobo buddies riding on a fiery train. The train sounded one last whistle, and his hobo pals waved so long. Then a magic wind blew out the campfire, and the campfire light was gone. The young beau packed his bindle. He walked down to the track. He hopped inside a boxcar, but he knew that he'd be back, for the magic in Pennsburg's campfire still lives in all the hearts of every beau who went there and camped beneath the stars. And someday in the future, when all of us are gone, a space-age traveler will light the fire, and the legend will live on. Let the jungle fires burn wild and free, and pass my bottle around. Let the train whistle blow, tell the old beaux I'm a-riding on the westbound. Now the funny thing is, when Frog did die, they said, well, his last wish was for you to come out to the cemetery in Brett and sing him the song at his grave. And I went out there, and right there on his gravestone are the words to this song.
Oh, come on.
On his gravestone is my song, The Westbound.
That is
so
so
we only have
cool.
time for...
Well, no. Wait, I want you to do your new song, because that's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
be, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Because
good.
Ricky just
Oh, I can't
released-
do that now.
You can't?
Next time.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So
All
here
right.
we go.
All right, so
Should we say goodbye?
yeah, you should say goodbye.
All right. So we're gonna do one last song. But I just wanted to wish you guys a very, very happy Thanksgiving. Spend time with your family. Enjoy them. I'm just telling you, life is very short. How do I put this? Don't let the enemy steal what God has given you. Do you have anything to say, Fish?
Family's the best. 3 things important in life is family, travel, and experiences.
Ooh.
That's it.
Family, travel, and experiences. So we just wish you from our house to your house a very, very happy Thanksgiving. Be blessed.
Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. I was standing by my window on a cold and cloudy day, when I saw the hearse come rolling for to carry dear mother away. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Undertaker, won't you please drive so slow? For that body you are hauling, Lord, I hate to see her go. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Well, I follow close behind her, try to hold on and be brave, but I could not hide my sorrow when they laid her in the grave. Everybody sing with us. Will the circles be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? Everybody's birthday now. Will the circle be unbroken? Bye, bye, Lord, bye, bye. There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Happy Thanksgiving!
Happy Thanksgiving! Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Friday. Take care. Be blessed and be a blessing to others. Thank you guys so much. Love you and see ya. Take care. Bye. I'm trying to get to my thing. Here it is. Okay. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Bye, guys.